Greetings, unsettled souls. Welcome to the Correct Views. Sam, I be Gangi, your host, doing with the Media Speaks here at the Correct Views. You might know me from Blasting News. You may know me from Teddy Stick, perhaps the Conservative Daily Post. That's where I usually write. I want to invite you guys to, I'm going to stall for a second while people trickle in. I've been posting at rather unusual times, so perhaps nobody will trickle in and you'll all be seeing this later. Or maybe nobody will tune in and nobody will be seeing it at all, and that's also possible. In any event, usually the Correct Views has a correct view. Today, I think a lot of the show is going to be me asking you questions. Feel free to give me a call, 330-371-4530. I think a lot of stress is because, look, the name of the show. I mean, it is a play on words with, of course, The View, who is never correct, almost anyway. The Whoopi Goldberg crowd, if you will. The View is almost never correct, so we've got the correct views here. But all jokes aside, or play on words aside, I think we're going to address anxiety tonight. And it's a touchy subject. It's one that we don't generally wish to talk about or address. And there are a lot of different things that cause it, but as I let you trickle in, let's talk about one of them. Since the name of the show is The Correct Views, and that's not to say that every view I have is correct, but just get the bigger picture of what I'm saying here. I think a lot of our stress comes about when we know beyond a shadow of a doubt what needs to be done in order for things to have the best chance of working out in a way that will make everyone involved equally happy, or at least as happy as they can be. And yet no one will listen to you. The movie The 12 Monkeys talked about something called the Cassandra complex. And in the movie, it was where someone was able to see exactly what was going to happen based on a very limited number of facts. Now, I'm not talking about psychics or clairvoyance or something metaphysical. I'm just saying that it's what I like to call a forensic intelligence. Some people are able to see what the big picture is by having just a few pieces of the puzzle. Kind of like when they find one hair in the carpet of an entire house that solves a murder crime, for those of you that watch Forensics Files. But you can't get anyone to listen to you. And what's even worse is when they blame you for the problems that happen when they didn't listen to you, but yet you're facing the fallout from it. That could be a problem. That could be a root, I should say, of anxiety. Obviously, if you're sick or infirmed in some way, that could be one. The other thing I want to put out there is what if this is a feeling that many people have? I think it's very noticeable that so many religions in the world, I'm Christian, so many religions in the world speak of an anxiety that is so bad that there is a quickening of the days in order to get someone through them. There is a feeling that something isn't right. And again, if you're feeling it too, call me 330-371-4530. I'll put you on the air. Something, whatever you want to call it, isn't right. There's like a knot here that doesn't go away. And of course, other people can make it worse. I mean, we live in a time when marriages mean nothing to people. Literally nothing. We live in a time when people that, and it's not just me, I've heard this from a lot of listeners and a lot of callers and a lot of correspondents. People are not acting the way they always have. And by always, I mean within a sensible period of time. Shifts don't happen as quickly as they have been. And it's not just a matter of the internet, because this wasn't the case until just the last few years. Some people have blamed CERN or crazy, who knows what's causing it. But my point is, I think a lot of us can feel that something is not right. Everybody's got their own reason as to why or what that is, but I think it's there. It's a stamp within all of us. So that's sort of my introduction into this. I do want to get into what other people have to say about it. And I'm going to go ahead and hop into screen share here. No, that'd be nice if I was on the screen that I wasn't when I was just chilling. Wouldn't that be helpful to all of my viewers? All right, look at this, my listeners here. Here we go. And I thought this was telling. It's not just you. We're all living in the United States of anxiety. Not when someone says, it's not just you, that is mildly comforting. But if everybody is about to, be shot, the fact that it's not just you being shot hardly changes the fact that you're about to die. So, I mean, it's comforting and it's not. But I wanted to go over some of the stats here because it's not just me. It's not just you. This is a lot of people. And I think maybe with all minds working together, maybe the bigger picture here could be addressed. Do people need more God in their life? Do people need more kindness? Yes, all of that. But perhaps there's something that can be learned as well from science. So let's take a look at it. MSN News here. Feeling more anxious these days? The article just came out today. It floored me. It said, you've got plenty of company. A new survey from the American Psychiatric Association reveals that 39% of Americans feel more anxious than they did just 1 year ago. That's more than double the 19% of Americans who feel less anxious now than at this time last year. Another 39% of the survey respondents said that their anxiety level was about the same. 3% weren't sure. That means they were so indecisive they couldn't even decide if they were anxious. So you can pretty much count them into the mix. 36% of Americans are describing themselves as extremely anxious about keeping their family safe. People are taking guns away by the handfuls in places like Chicago, so I can see why. They're not even allowed to protect themselves. 35% of survey respondents feel extremely anxious, and 32% said it made them feel somewhat anxious. 5% increase in the country's national anxiety score. From 0 to 100, rose to 46. I'm halfway there, friends. And there's plenty of anxiety to go around. It's affecting all age groups. Of course, millennials are feeling it hard. But baby boomers, Generation Xers, all feeling it as well. Increased stress and anxiety can significantly impact many aspects of people's lives, according to Dr. Anita Everett, president of the American Psychiatric Association. She said in a statement, her prescription for reducing stress includes regular exercise, relaxation, healthy eating, and time with friends and family. Okay, that's all great. Time with friends and family is great. But what if, the absence of your friends and family is what's making you stressed? But let me put something else out there. Could it be that there has been, how many of you know about the 100 monkeys? If you take, and you've got monkeys over here on this island. Let me use Buddy Puff's glasses. You've got an island of 100 monkeys over here. Once these monkeys all learn to use a certain tool, then the monkeys over here, without having ever met these monkeys, know how to use the tool or can find out within rapid speed compared to Group A, as it were. What if there are a certain number of people monkeys, if you will? What if there are a certain number of people that are simply feeling something that is more tangible than the metaphysical description that such a notion would imply? Let's face it, friends. There are a lot of things here that's showing us that 2 and 2 doesn't seem to be equaling 4. Now, I'm a compulsive nail biter. This is rather interesting. I'm going to have to go back off screen share here for a second, and I'm probably going to give you my middle finger, so you'll love it. Go ahead, get your jokes ready, and I hope to see them in my comment line. You can see, well, it's not my middle finger, but it's close enough. I had an infection here. Trying to get it into the camera. I did give you the finger. I told you. You can't see it because my camera sucks. Please donate at the correct views at hotmail.com through PayPal so I can fix that. It swelled up like Congo the freaking gorilla. It was huge, okay? It looked like King Kong. Yes, I did lance it myself, and I'll save you all the gross details of it. My other friends, Sam Shaw, noticed this as well. Well, I've been a nervous nail biter my whole life. I didn't know it could kill me. How many of you also did not? Listen to this, Fox News. Luke Hanneman, his name's almost Han. Luke Hanneman had a scary brush with death after he became infected with sepsis. That's what killed my mother. From biting his nails. 28-year-old father of two in the UK began to experience flu-like symptoms, including cold sweats and shaking, after he bit the skin on the side of one of his nails, the Sun reported. That's exactly what I just did. I've done this a few times in my life. If you have a lot of vitamin C, it will cut down, but I wasn't able to get it for a minute. And you see what I got from it. Well, listen to this. He tried to ignore the symptoms and sleep them off, but eventually the finger began to throb and swell. Yeah, it's absolute misery. It's one of the most painful things you could ever do to yourselves. He eventually went to a nearby hospital where he was told he was lucky to be alive and treated for sepsis for several days. By this time, he had contracted a high temperature and had red lines all over his body, a sign that the infection was spreading, according to the Sun. It was quite scary. The young father told the news outlet, "I was on 24-hour observation with 2 drips in my arms constantly. They told me I was lucky to make it so long. And I was close to septic shock." You know, he could have just soaked it in warm water and lanced the discolored white area, but, you know, I don't know why he didn't go on the net and look it up. I knew it because my dad was a nurse, but we do live in the age of the internet, you know, which is supposed to be one of the things making us more anxious. In any event, Hahnemann said he used to bite his nails regularly. It was a nervous habit. A sepsis is a potentially life-threatening complication of an infection, according to the Mayo Clinic. Yeah, my mother beat it once and then got it again because, and I will say this openly, I don't care, bring it on. I'll happy to see you in court, because the nursing home over on our West Branch did not do their job properly with her. It can damage organs, causing them to fail. The U.S. said 1.5 million people contacted every year. 250,000 people die from it, according to the CDC. So people are biting their nails to the point of sepsis. And as we go in and look at this, and I think the bigger picture here is that maybe we need to care a little bit more about our loved ones. Have you been really crappy to your husband lately? Have you been really crappy to your wife? Have you been unforgiving of them, or friends, or family member, or someone else? We're all stressed, of course, so we're all blowing up at everyone else with great regularity, but do we forgive one another? Or do we simply put a knife in their back, dull or sharp, perhaps dull to make it hurt more, to add to the anxiety, if you will? Guys, I got 2 left going with this here, and I think you'll see what I'm getting at here. Some of the anxiety is from the fact that we cannot shut off media. How many of you know somebody that cannot even carry on a conversation without their cell phone being on? Well, listen to this. The cell phone may be to blame for a surge in deadly brain tumors. This is from the New York Post. Mobile phones may be behind a surge in a deadly brain tumor, scientists say. Cases of glioblastoma in England soared from 983 to 2,531 between 95 and 2015. Figures from the Office of National Statistics reveal the rise from across all age groups and came as case of lower grade tumors fell. Experts say, quote, widespread environmental or lifestyle factors are likely responsible. The findings were published in the journal Pacific Health and Environment. The study's leader was Alasdair Phillips of children with cancer and said, "We found a sustained and highly significant increase in GBM throughout the 21 years across all ages. The incidence of frontal and temporal regions of the brain, if I can speak, are affected, and of course it raises the suspicion that mobile phones are to blame. Most survive only 14.6 months after being diagnosed." And critics warn that the study identifies a trend in tumor diagnosis rates that does not provide sufficient evidence of mobile phones. Well, when you are finding children with extremely high levels of brain cancer, where they are hiding the microwaved brain cooking device to their phone. I've lost my phone a million times because I don't leave it in my pants pocket for very long because I care about my gonads. I almost left it at Jersey's restaurant sitting on the table today. I don't keep it on me. I tend to talk in a speakerphone if I can. Find me doing it on other views here. Giving people brain cancer, this need to constantly be plugged in. And the fact that we don't have sufficient evidence to tell if that's what's doing it. BS, okay, utter BS. Like in Fukushima, where we don't know what's causing all of the thyroid cancer. It couldn't be the little neutron star that we built in the middle of Japan. No, Shazam, Sparky, that couldn't be it. Going into the dumdy of the day. Sometimes you are an idiot. Sometimes you have to repeat a study to get people to listen. Mobile phone cancer warning as malignant brain tumors double from the Telegraph. News Science. I have just given you the multiple sources on the first one. There's multiple sources here. Charities and scientists have called on the government to heed long-standing warnings about the dangers of radiation after an alarming trend in cancers has come up. They analyzed 79,241 malignant brain tumors over 21 years, finding the cases of GBM in England have increased from 1,250 a year in 95 to 3,000. Friends, a lot of things are causing us stress, but nothing causes us stress like a brain cancer diagnosis. Be mindful of it. As for the rest of what's causing our stress, who knows? I've certainly put forth a lot of theories. What are some of your theories? Let me know in the comment line. And if you'd like to see a better show, please donate to the correct views at hotmail.com through PayPal. Good night, friends. God bless. And watch for that anxiety. Kill you.